Are you new to Minecraft? Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Peter. I am the Bob Ross of Minecraft, playing a shy guy here today. And it's nighttime. This is episode 2 of a series where I show you guys the ropes. Just the simple stuff, just the stuff to get you going. We were able to get some wood, some stone tools, one furnace, one crafting bench, or crafting table as some people call it, and a little bit of cooked food here. It is nighttime though, and it's dangerous out there. So what we're gonna do instead of tempting the fates is we're going to mine these 2 and this 1. Okay, so that's 3 high and 1 forward, and then we're gonna do it again, but another block down. And we'll continue this pattern of digging 1, 2, 3, and then going forward and 1, 2, 3 for a while, and see if we find anything good. I don't know what's going to be down here. It's a mystery. Now it is getting dark, so let's switch over to our torch and place one here, and then you see it's light, and that's nice. And this is a great way to kill some time and to gather some stone, and stone is useful, as I've already showed, because you can make tools and weapons with it. But also we might find something better than stone if we keep going. Right? So now you can see, this is a good time to talk about coordinates. You can see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, we've completed 0 days, and we're at position -429, 54, 22. Now, -429 is your X value. That's how far east or west you are. And you can see I'm going less negative as I travel this direction. Okay, your Z is how north and south you are, and we're 22 north of 00, which is the very middle of the world. And then that Y level is 52. That's that number in the middle. And that's how high we are in the world. That's our altitude. Now, you may have noticed we had new recipes unlock in the top right corner of the screen there. It's because we're picking up this stuff, which is different than stone. Stone turns into cobblestone when you mine it. This is andesite. It just looks a little bit different, and we can do different things with it in the crafting table, and we cannot make stone tools and stuff out of it. Now, here's another new material. This is granite. And there we have new recipes unlocked because we can make all those things now that we have granite, which is quite a lovely thing. And here's another new material. That's diorite right there. It's not directly in our mining path. There it is. We're going to pick this up. We're going to get more new recipes. Okay, so diorite and granite and andesite, the gray and orangish and white stone we've picked up, cannot become tools or weapons, but it is just a different like color and can be nice for building with, right? So later we're going to build a house, and we're going to maybe use different materials for variety and for accent pieces, which is nice. Now you can see that the stone pickaxe is wearing down. That's what these little colorful bars at the bottom of the tools and weapons are. That sword is green because it has most of its durability. The pickaxe is kind of yellowish orangish because it's running lower on durability. And when that bar is all the way black and all the way depleted, there's no durability left. The shovel and the hoe have full durability, which is why the colored bars have not appeared beneath them at all. So let's switch to our slightly healthier pickaxe, and it doesn't affect like how fast the pickaxe goes, how much durability it has left. Oh, I see some coal right there. See it? We'll grab that too. It just shows you how much is left. It's like a gas tank, right? Your car is still as fast or as slow when it has a full gas tank or an empty gas tank, pretty much. But you're closer to the point where you have to go to the gas station and fill it up. And so the similar kind of thing is true with the Minecraft tools, is we may need to make a new pickaxe soon. However, I'll show you a trick in where you can combine tools and weapons together, and the durability combines as well. And in fact, you actually get a 5% bonus in your durability. So now's a good time to do that, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put this up here, and we're also going to grab this and put it up here, and you will see that we have more durability and just 1 stone pickaxe instead of 2, which is quite nice. Quite nice, quite nice. Now, I'm hearing some spooky noises, which means we may bust into a cave here eventually. I don't know where it is. It is getting dark, though. Let's place another torch. By the way, bad guys spawn in the dark. They won't spawn super close to you, but they will spawn in the dark. What's that blue? That blue is a new thing. We're going to get it. This is lapis lazuli. You can mine this with a stone pickaxe. Some fancy things you cannot, but with this you can. So if you're ever mining something with a stone pickaxe and it's taking a really long time, be warned that it may be because you can't get it with a stone pickaxe. Now watch this. We can't get those things because they're floating up there, but we could place some blocks. And since I don't really like the way granite works, I'm going to place some granite up here. So watch, I place granite there, and now those blue things can't be in that space anymore. And I place this here. Now watch, these are going to drop down when I place this one. See that? That makes them grabbable. I'm going to place this one, and those are going to come out and drop down as well. So it's kind of nice. They can't be where the space does not allow them to be. Let's go back up. We've reached Y16. Again, this middle number is your Y value. Y16 is a really good spot to have reached, especially for a first night. And if you don't run into any caves or anything where a bunch of bad guys are, and you want to be careful about that, then that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We don't need all this right now. We may come down for it later. But I'm holding the B button down to continuously jump, and I'm holding the left stick up so that I'm continuously moving forward. And this is a quick way to get back up our staircase here. It's a bit of a tight fit, so we're bumping our head each time. Doesn't actually have an impact. And look, it's day. And we've picked a great spot here because there are more sheep. These passive mobs will respawn, which is wonderful. And now that it is day, let's go out and get us some of these sheep here. Oh, right. I said I jump when I attack. That's because you do actually more damage if you're moving down. That's what those little particles that appear are. Watch, if I hit them regular, there's no particles that appear. But if I jump and hit them on the way down, like this, those little gray X's, grayish brownish X's appear. And look, this is just a great spot for sheep. Lots of sheep will spawn. It looks like they'll continue to do so. There's a pig. You could take out a pig as well. Pigs don't supply anything except meat. Remember how the cow had leather in addition to beef, and the sheep had wool in addition to mutton? The pig has nothing in addition to the pork that he drops. So it's good to know. It's good to know. But why are wool and leather valuable, you might ask? Well, I'm going to show that to you right now. Now that we've survived one night, we're going to tuck in here, and I'm just going to leave that open. I axed it open. We're a little vulnerable, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take 3 of these and place them here. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take 3 wool, and you ought to have 3 wool by now if you've been following along. You may not get the same sheep spawns, but because we survived a night, if you have to survive another one, you go ahead. But now that we have a bed, we could place a bed here, and we can sleep in it if it's nighttime or if there are thunderstorms, right? But you cannot sleep in it if there are monsters nearby. But we'll go ahead and click on this with ZL anyway. And it says you can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms, but it also says respawn point set. You see that there, that third line, respawn point set. That means if we die, we'll come back right here as long as the as long as the bed is not broken. Okay, so let's take this out as well. And now we have kind of a wider entrance, which I think is fine for now. This is a very ugly little starter house, but it's something. Okay, so when it's night, you can hang out inside and gather lots of stone. But when it's day, it's a good time to gather wood because you can't do that at night. Watch out for these little holes here. You never know how deep they go, and you could fall and take quite a bit of damage. Hello, cow. You're tempting me, so I'm going to take you out. And let's look at this little dark area too. Now, bad things could spawn down here even when it's not night. Let's use our shovel. Dig away some dirt here. So we could mine this with the pickaxe, or we could dig this with the shovel, and either way we can make a little more progress. I actually see some light down here. So I'm wondering what's going on here. Is sunlight getting all the way down here? Oh, there's a skeleton. Skeletons have bows and arrows. He's going to want to shoot us. So we have to be careful here. Ah. So let's back out of the way. He won't shoot at you if he can't see you. But he will pursue you. This flowing water is actually doing a really good job of keeping us safer. Okay, we got him. He died. Sometimes they'll drop bones, and sometimes they'll drop bows or arrows, which is very nice. Now it's getting darker and darker, but there's more cave here, so we really could explore. I see some coal in there, I think. And I hear a zombie. Let's not do any of that right now. Oh, I hear a baby zombie burning in the sun. When the sun rises after night, the zombies and skeletons burn in the sun, which is quite hilarious. Oh, look at, here's a wandering trader. We can talk to him. He's willing to trade you stuff for stuff. We'll click on him with ZL and we'll see that he would be willing to sell us a hay bale for an emerald. No, he would be willing to give us an emerald if we had a hay bale, or 2 emeralds for a water bucket. He's also able to sell us things like gunpowder, mangrove log, pumpkin seeds, and other things. Those are not actually useful and interesting to us, so we're going to just leave that alone for now. But as I was saying, you want to get wood while the sun is shining, because that is your opportunity to do it. It's hard to come by wood underground, although it's not impossible. And if you run out of wood, you cannot make new tools and weapons because you don't have sticks. And you need sticks for the handles of those. So let's cut down some oak while we're up here. We'll just grab the wood with our axe. You notice it goes much faster with the axe than it does when you're just punching them in the beginning of the game. And then we'll have wood, which is incredibly handy because you can make tools and weapons with the handles made out of wood. Not sure why this dirt is floating, but I'm not a big fan. I'm going to get rid of it. Blocks are not impacted by gravity for the most part in Minecraft, but some blocks are, and we'll talk about that when we get to them. But another thing wood is useful for is, check this out, if you take wood and you arrange it like this, in a square, which is how we made the furnace out of stone, you can make a chest. And look how full our inventory is. It is just jam-packed full. Well, you can throw stuff away, or we're standing on the bed right now. You could set a chest down and put stuff in the chest, and it will keep it for you. It's like an extra inventory. So you could decide what's useful and what's not useful right now. We're going to hang on to the stone and the wood because I think that those things are useful right now. We have birch logs, we have oak logs, we have birch planks, and 1 oak plank. I guess that can be up there. We also have all this stone here too. And the reason there are 2 piles of stone here is because 64 is the limit. You cannot have more than 64 in one spot, so the game puts it in another spot there. Now you notice we have 7 pieces of meat here, so it's a good time to do a little more cooking as well. Remember, this can cook up to 8 of the same kind of thing. It can cook up to 7 of 2 different kinds of things because a little bit of time is wasted when you take the one thing out before you put the next thing in. And that little bit of time is what costs you that perfect efficiency. But since we're doing okay on coal... Oh, it's a baby zombie. Oh dear, we're on fire. He has set us on fire, and we've defeated him with our sword. Our health is very low. So he must have been hiding in the shade and not burning in the sun, and now the sun is setting. And there's a horse. Let's try sleeping. We can only sleep at night. Okay, I tried again with ZL there, and now we're sleeping through the night. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well, let's eat our cooked chicken. And then that will give us enough saturation that we can start to recover some health. But let's go ahead and eat a cooked steak, too. Now, I was only missing a half hunger pop down here. I was only short by 1/2 of one of those on the left. That's okay, because there are more that you can't see. And so it's not a waste to eat the food when you're almost full, the way it's a waste to cook one thing with an entire piece of coal, you know? So yeah, so that was a scary little moment. I'm glad we survived, though. If you're following along and that happens to you and you die, you would come back right here at the bed. Otherwise, you come back wherever we first started in the world, and that would be upsetting, because then you'd have to find your way back. Now, we could keep killing these guys for more meat, but we don't really need more wool. And I like them, and they're kind of friendly, and I like to have them around. So maybe we'll just cut down some more trees. So what you can do is you can keep cutting down trees so that you always have wood. And as you get saplings too, which I'm not holding any right now, we have some. We can use the hoe to get rid of leaf blocks very fast. And there's a sapling. I just saw one drop. And there's a few more. We could pick up these saplings, and you could plant a sapling right where the tree was, and another one will grow in time. Or you can plant a sapling somewhere new if you want, and a tree will grow there as well. So let's put one here, closer to our house. And let's clear out a little bit of space here, and we'll put one here. Now, what are those pieces of grass dropping? These are seeds, wheat seeds, and we could actually plant a little garden, make a little garden and plant some wheat seeds in the ground. But you need to be by water to do it, and we don't have any way to move water yet, so we would have to come over here to do that, or somewhere. But as we continue to get more wood and more stone, and more food, it allows us the ability to travel and explore, because like there are fish underwater over there. You can swim in the water and see the things if you want. And there are tall pieces of seaweed and things on the bottom of the water and all sorts of stuff to explore. I see a chicken and a cow over there. I see a pig over there. I see more different kinds of trees. And the world is finite, but I've never reached the end of one. So you can go and go and go and go and go. You could get in that boat and cross the water, and there would be something else there eventually, which is pretty darn cool. Now, what I see as our closest garden opportunity is over here. So maybe in looking at where our house is, we could actually dig a tunnel from the back of our house and out this way to a garden. But for now, I'm going to punch some of this area, and I'm going to grab my shovel and just make this a little more cleaned up and square and organized here. And I'm just punching. I happen to be punching with the dirt block, but it doesn't matter. You can punch a grass with anything. Okay, so now let's place a little extra dirt here, here, and here. So our shoreline is really nice and even. We'll even do this. And nice and flat. Okay, now we can use the hoe on dirt and it becomes tilled farmland. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are dry, but they will get wet like those two have. See that? Because they're within 4 blocks of a water block. Now, water is interesting because it can flow, right? And then it's not flowing anymore. But if you dig like this, it's flowing forever. And these are not water blocks. This is just a block through which water is flowing. But this is a water source block. Ooh, do you guys see that face down there? There's a drowned zombie down there. We'll leave him alone. But as these moisten, and they'll moisten over time, we can plant seeds in them with ZL here. See, just like this. We're going to plant all of them, and we're going to place a torch down so that if it's night out, they still have light, because light helps them grow. And now remember, we're going to connect this area to our home over here, but first we're going to use B, and we're going to push forward on the left stick to get over here, and then we're going to come down here. Now, if you fall too far, you'll take some damage. Check this out. See that? That hurt. So let's eat some food. Fill our hunger up again so we can get some health back, and we're going to sacrifice this chicken because chicken is delicious and we're going to cook it. If you ever want to cook just one thing and you don't have anything else to cook, 2 sticks will cook one thing. So that's not a waste. You can see the flame depletes very quickly, but 2 sticks will perfectly cook one thing, and that's great. Okay, so now we have a cooked chicken. And a feather. And we don't want the feather, so we're going to put the feather in our box back here. Okay, so we have the staircase down. Let's move this. Now if I were to die, I would not respawn here because the bed has been broken. We have to replace the bed and re-ZL click on it. And it says you can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms, but your respawn point is set. We're going to place a couple torches there, and we will want to close this up if it's becoming night. but it's midday, early afternoon. So I'm not too worried about it right now. And the reason we moved that is we're going to go over one here, and then we're going to dig this way. And the reason I went over one is just to keep it separate from the stairs here. And we were going to make a new pickaxe, weren't we, since we were sort of running low. So let's go ahead and get that done as well. One of those. As long as you have 3 cobblestone and 2 sticks in your inventory, you can always make a new one of those if you're interacting with a crafting bench here. By the way, that's a hammer hanging upside down, and that's a saw. I did not figure out what those were supposed to be at first. So I wish someone would have told me that. And look, we found some coal. This is great. But we're going to have here a little hallway leading to our garden. So instead of having to jump over the hill each time, we're going to be able to mine through. Now, I did happen to notice that we're at Y level 64, which I believe is right where water level is. And I'm going to switch to the shovel here because this is dirt. And here we are, right blam. I guess 63 is where the water is at. Hello, cow. I have bad news for you, cow. I'm going to jump and hit you with my sword, and then you will be toast, and I will eat that toast and be happy. I have good news for you, sheep. I'm going to have mercy on you today. So not only does this give us access to our garden, but it also gives us access to some other trees that we could cut down in the meantime, couldn't we? Now, this is an interesting oak tree because it has branches. I don't like cutting down the ones with branches because I think they're harder to cut down and they're pretty. But there's wood growing off of the side of that trunk. You can see one through there if you look carefully. That never happens with birch. But as you may notice, the birch wood looks different than the oak wood. And later, if we build a house, you may prefer to build your house out of birch or oak or something else. All of that is fine. Let's check out our garden. Look. Some of the plants are growing. See, those look freshly planted, but that one's grown up a little bit. It's a little bit taller than that one, you see. And this one's even taller still. So these are doing well because we have tilled wet soil. That will get wet. Don't worry. And there's light shining on them, and time is going by. Those are all the secret ingredients to getting that to succeed. Now we have more coal here. Let's remember that in case we need it. But also we have a point of vulnerability here. So it's time to teach you guys about doors. We're going to make some oak doors. Whoops, I pressed the ZL button. That makes this whole deal on the left go away. And if you press it again, it opens it back up. And this can be a handy way to find the things that you want to craft. But if you'd like to keep things simple, you can do it like this. Okay, so three of logs will... 3 times 4 is 12, so it'll make 12 planks. I'm going to craft them all with X. I'm going to pick them up with A, and then I'm going to hold Y and drag them in a pattern like this. If you do 6 in this pattern, you'll make 3 doors. And 3 is a great number of doors for us right now. I'll tell you why. We can put 2 here. I like to go on the outside to place doors. You could do it from the inside if you want, but if you do it from the outside, they open in, which is great. But before we place these, we want to stick something under there. So let's take andesite, and look at this. If you put, you can actually do it without the crafting table, but if you put 4 andesite like that in a 2x2 pattern, you can make polished andesite, which looks just a little bit nicer. It doesn't cost you anything to make. And let's put those here as like a threshold. I'm just going to dig that with my fist. We could do it with the shovel. That's a little faster. And place those there. And now, look, we're going to place the oak door there and there. And we have doors. See that? If you click ZL on a door, it opens. And if you click on it again, it closes. I also think it's time to put a little bit of light on the outside of our home as well. We could put one on either side of the door and then maybe one over the window like that. Look! It's our little home. It's our little starter home. And oh dear, the sun is going down. So before things appear, we could sleep, or we could stay up and let them appear. Let's go to sleep. I think that might be wise. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place a back door since we have 3, and I'm going to place it on the outside here. Looks like we could place it right here. We don't need a fancy threshold just yet, but we could put a light there. Right? And then there's a light there. And if we want to make more lights, we're going to need more sticks and more coal. I mean, we have some more, but we're going to need to use some more. There's some more chicken that we could cook. And so we've started surviving here. We've started getting going here. We got food, we got tools and weapons, we got wood, and we got a little safe little home. We got a bed to sleep in at night, and all of that is wonderful and good. In the next episode, I'm going to show you what comes next in Minecraft. We'll continue to not just survive, but we'll start to thrive. Head nod to Paul Source Jr., who's the YouTube channel that I watched when I was new at Minecraft. He had a series called Survive and Thrive, and that's what we're going to try to do. So far, we've been surviving, but soon we want to thrive, so we don't have to be afraid, and so we start getting, I don't know, wealthier and more powerful and more accomplished and all that. It's going to be great. So please join me for that, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time in the Bob Ross of Minecraft. Goodbye.